For Comedy Hype News, I'm Jay Will. Back in September 2019, a story on Eddie Murphy was published by the New York Times that would go on to spotlight Murphy's return to comedy. The 58-year-old legendary stand-up comedian has been quiet for some time, especially since his last stand-up special dates back to 1987's Raw. During his recent return, it has been noted that Murphy is planning for a comedy special with Netflix, and he's reportedly looking at a deal worth $70 million. In the talk with the New York Times, Murphy was quoted for saying he cringed at some of his material, which many online had mixed reviews about. It appeared that quite a few people didn't like the notion of the comedy giant showing any regrets to material he performed in his early years. Well, in a new interview with CBS Sunday Morning, Murphy would further share his feelings about his material that touched on homosexuality and AIDS, but would make it very clear that he had no regrets. Some of it I cringe when I watch it. That's not to say I don't appreciate it. I appreciate it, and I'm looking at it in the context of the time. I'm a kid saying that. And when asked about regrets, Murphy would respond, none whatsoever. Nah. In the interview, he would further discuss making a stance at the Oscars and his big comeback. Now, this recent statement appears to be on a slightly different note than his previous apology in 1996, in which he would publicly apologize for his jokes on AIDS and homosexuality. I deeply regret any pain all this has caused, just like the rest of the world. I'm more educated about AIDS in 1996 than I was in 1981. I think it is unfair to take the words of a misinformed 21-year-old and apply them to an informed 35-year-old man. I know how serious an issue AIDS is the world over. I know that AIDS isn't funny. It's 1996, and I'm a lot smarter about AIDS now. Things are clearly different than when Murphy first started, which leads many of us to wonder what or how he would discuss his newest outlook on the stand-up stage. As you should know, Murphy just made an iconic return to Saturday Night Live after 30 years and is expected to prepare for a comedy tour in 2020. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. What's your thoughts on Murphy's new statement on having no regrets for his past material? And for more news and comedy, head over to comedyhype.com and follow us across all social media. For Comedy Hype News, I'm Jay Will.